reproduction. Reproduction in toads and frogs and crowing. Reproduction. What is the meaning of the term reproduction? It is a process by which the organisms produce new offspring of their own species. Reproduction is important for the existence of a species. Importance of reproduction. Reproduction plays a vital role in the continuation of the species. It plays a role in the evolution as it creates variations via genetic recombinations. The two types of reproduction. There are two types of reproduction. In that, sexual reproduction is the first type. On the basis of the number of parents required for reproduction, reproduction is of two types. In that, the first type is sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, the species consists of a male and a female, and for the requirement of their reproductive organs. The kind of reproduction in which the fusion of a male and a female gamete takes place is called as sexual reproduction. Here, the male gamete the sperm and the female gamete the egg in a human fuse to form a zygote and then develop into embryo and last into a baby. The male and female reproductive organs in humans. Male reproductive system. In the male reproductive system, there are the testes, scrotum, spermatic ducts, male accessory glands, and penis. All these organs work together to produce sperm, the male gamete, and also the male sex hormones. Here, penis and urethra both are also present in the urinary system. Female reproductive system. In the female reproductive system is framed to perform different functions. It creates egg cells that are essential for reproduction, known as ova. The system is organized to deliver to the region of fertilization. The egg fertilization takes place in the fallopian tubes along with the sperms. Here is the images of the reproductive system in humans. This is the male reproductive system. Here, this is the penis and this is the urethra. Here, this is the vagina and here is the uterus where the baby lives. Fertilization. What is the meaning of the term fertilization? Fertilization is defined as the union of two gametes. Here is a brief process of fertilization. The sperm are ejected from the male reproductive organ called the penis. The sperm enters the female body through reproductive organ vagina. Then the sperm travels to the uterus and the fallopian tube. In the fallopian tube, it meets the egg produced from the female organ. So, fertilization takes place in the fallopian tube. Fertilization results in the formation of zygote, which later develops into embryo. The zygote is the beginning of a new individual. Fertilization is further divided into two types. They are internal fertilization and external fertilization. In the process of internal fertilization, the fertilization which takes place inside the body is called internal fertilization. As external fertilization, the name itself says the fertilization which takes place outside the body is called external fertilization. We will see about it in detail in reproduction in toads and frogs. Development of an embryo. Fertilization results in the formation of a zygote, the cell which is formed due to the fusion of gametes, which begins to develop into an embryo. The zygote divides repeatedly to give rise to a ball of cells. The cells then begin to form roots that develop into different tissues and organs of the body. This developing structure is termed as embryo. Here, this is the first fertilized egg. It is the first stage. Then there are different cell stages till 18 cell stages. After that, it converts into a blastocyst cell. After that, then only in the fourth stage, we can say the organs of the baby. Then, just in 4 stages, the fetus totally develops into a new baby. Oviparous and viviparous animals. Animals such as human beings, cows and dogs which give birth to young ones are called viviparous animals. Animals such as hen, frog, lizard and butterfly which lay eggs are called oviparous animals. Here, this is a crane which lays eggs and from that the chicks grow for reproduction. And here, this is a dog which is a mammal which leaves puppies, that is the small ones of them. Asexual reproduction is the second type of reproduction. Asexual reproduction is a mode of reproduction in which a new offspring is produced by a single parent. The new individuals produced are genetically and physically identical to each other. There are majorly two types of asexual reproduction. Binary fission. Binary fission is observed in single-celled organisms like amoeba, paramecium. In this method of asexual reproduction, there is a separation of the parent cell into two new daughter cells. Budding. This is the second type of asexual reproduction in animals. Budding is observed in organisms like hydra and bees. In budding, a new organism is formed from a bud of an existing organism. The new organism remains attached to the parent till it is mature. Here are the images of binary fission. In this binary fission, there is the one cell that is the father amoeba that further divides its nucleus into two and not the cytoplasm. Then it divides the cytoplasm and then totally divides into two new cells. Here, this is the asexual reproduction in yeast through budding. Here, a small bud is developing and forming into a chain of buds. Later, these buds will just separate and form new individuals. Reproduction in toads and frogs. Frogs lay eggs in water and the eggs hatch into tadpoles that grow into frogs. All frogs reproduce sexually and all hatch from eggs. In almost all frogs, egg fertilization happens outside the female's body instead of inside. The female releases her eggs and the male releases his sperms at the same time. After the hatching of the tadpoles, transform into adults which are capable of jumping and swimming. Like this, the transformation of the larva into an adult through drastic changes is called metamorphosis. Here is the life cycle of frogs. Frogs lay masses of eggs in slow-flowing rivers and lakes during their breeding season. These eggs hatches and early tadpoles are born. Then all of these eggs develops into a pair of legs. This is also called the phase 2 of the tadpole. Afterwards, these tadpoles develop into a froglet, not fully grown frog. Finally, the froglet develops into a full matured adult frog. Here, this frog leaves the eggs in the slow-flowing rivers. Then they develop into an early tadpole. Then the later tadpole at last to a froglet. Then this froglet develops wholly into an adult frog. We come to the last topic of our reproduction in animals lesson, cloning. Now we move to the cloning is the reproduction of an identical cell of any other living part or a complete organism. It was successfully performed for the first time by Ian Wilber and his colleagues at the Roslin Institute of Edinburgh, Scotland. They cloned successfully a sheep named Dolly. It was born on 5th July 1996 and was the first mammal to be cloned successfully. Here, this is one donor of the cell egg and this is the donor for the baby to grow. Here both the cells are taken and fused to each other. Then we get a fused cell. This cell is later kept inside the donor of giving place to the baby to grow. Then this later changes into an embryo and at last changes into a baby. During the process of cloning, Dolly, a cell was collected from the mammary gland of a female fin-dorsal sheep. Simultaneously, a egg was collected from a Scottish black-faced sheep. the egg. Then the nucleus of the cell from the fin dorsal sheath was inserted into the egg of the Scottish blackface sheep. The egg thus produced was implanted into the Scottish blackface sheep. Development of the egg followed normally and finally Dolly was born. Though Dolly was given birth by Scottish blackface sheep, it was found to be identical to the fin dorsal sheep as the nucleus was taken from it. Dolly didn't show any characters of Scottish blackface sheep because the donor of the nucleus was fin dorsal sheep. Unfortunately, Dolly died on 14 February 2003 due to a severe lung disease. I would like to complete my seminar with a small thought by a great biologist. Little science take you away from God, but more of it takes you to Him. Louis Pasteur.